Hello boaters, welcome to Narrowboat Journeys. My name is Phil and I've lived aboard my narrowboat on the canal system for over 30 years. I share my home with my two cats, Bushka and Midge, and we spend our days travelling around the canal system and making videos. We're on the Ashby Canal today and just approaching Bridge 47 at Congerstone. In this video I'll be passing Congerstone, going through Shackerstone and then heading through a lovely wooded section and mooring up about a mile short of Snareston. So before we go any farther, let's have a look at the map. It's a very simple and straightforward cruise. We're starting at the yellow marker down at the bottom of the map and finishing at the yellow marker up at the top of the map. On the way we go through Shackerstone, as I said, and well, that's about it really. It's mostly just very lovely countryside. That hawk over on the left there is actually a bird-scaring kite. It's attached to a pole sticking up in the field, and when the wind blows it flies around. Looks quite convincing to me. Bridge 47 is just around this fairly sharp bend. Now you can moor here. This is probably the closest place you can get to the pub for Congerstone, which is left of the bridge. But be wary about mooring on the bend. There are mooring spaces on the other side of the bridge as well. no shops in this part of the world. It's really quite remote. There is a pub in Congerstone and there's a pub in Shackerstone, and that's about it. Now, just after Bridge 51, which we came through earlier, along here there's some pretty good moorings, so if you want to stop in Shackerstone, I really recommend stopping along here somewhere. Just after here we go round a very sharp bend and there's some more visitor moorings which are much closer to the village, but will you get a place there? You know, if it's busy in the summer, you don't know if you're going to get a place there or not. So, you know, this is where I always prefer to moor up. In fact, on the way back I stopped right here. We're just coming up to the sharp bend that I mentioned. And then we go over a little aqueduct and the visitor moorings are just ahead. We've got another sharp bend with a bridge across it. You need to be careful there. And then there's a few more visitor moorings on the other side. Be very careful here, you can't see if anything's coming or not, and in the summer the chances are there might well be. On the right, for a little way, we've got visitor moorings, and all the moorings you see on the left, they're all private long-term moorings. This is Bridge 53, and immediately after it is a winding hole. From here onwards, for the next mile or two, is I think the most beautiful part of the Ashby Canal. It's mostly through wooded sort of countryside. This is not the best time of year to see it, but if you come through here when the trees are out in leaf on a nice day, it is absolutely lovely. Having said that, at this time of year everything's a bit bare and it's really quite cold here in the shade. I had to stop and put my hat on. The canal follows a fairly straight course and mooring is not really possible in many places along here, but there are places where you can stop and you'll see them as we go. Distance there up ahead is Bridge 56, and if you look towards the right towpath there, you'll see that the bank is good for mooring. If you want to stop here you can, but a much nicer place to stop is just after Bridge 56. This is one of my favourite mooring spots of all time, really. And so of course I shall be stopping here again this time as well. This is such a nice place to moor. It's pretty isolated, but I like it. So the only thing left to do now is to moor up, let the cats out, and thank you all for watching. We're nearly at the end of the Ashby Canal now, so in the next video that'll take us to the very end. So until that time, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.